Welcome to the Life Coach Lounge. I'm Angela.
I'm Lisa.
I'm Emily. We're three life coaches who found connection in faith, friendship, and purpose.
Get ready for real talk, relatable stories, and practical tips you can actually use.
We're so happy you're here at the Life Coach Lounge. Hello, friends, and hello, loungers. Welcome back to the lounge. So this week, as you all know, Emily and Angela and I chit-chat a lot in the Marcos. And this week, can we just talk a little bit about how Q4 is staring us down already? How do we get here? Does anybody else feel that way? Has anybody else looked at their calendar and was like, what? We're flipping a month next week? What is happening? So today we thought we would let you in to the Marcos, really. We continue to kind of process this whole wait, how did we get here so fast feeling? And also just chit chat with each other about what our intentions are as we move in to Q4 and how do we want to show up for ourselves? Because let's be real, whether we're ready or not, those holidays in October and November and December and everything year ending are going to be here before we are ready or not. Loungers, grab yourself your favorite beverage, or if you're maybe doing multitasking and listening while you're doing some chores, which is how I love to do, listen to my favorite podcast, or maybe you're out on a walk and you have us in your ears. Let us know how this lands for you. And if you too are like, okay, here we go, Q4, bring it on. So ladies, seriously, how? Tell me. I know you both have already told me that I'm not alone here, but tell me what you're like initially thinking when you look at your calendars and you're like, what? What is happening?
I think my first thought is, where did Q3 go? 'Cause summers in Michigan are precious. And I feel like, where did summer go? It went so fast. And when I look back on it, we traveled a lot in June. So we weren't really enjoying the Michigan summer because we were traveling. And then July, I'll be honest, I don't even really remember July. I know we had some family time with the holiday, but July went by really fast. And then in August, we bought a new home. And so we have spent the last month closing on our home and moving. And so when you say, wow, Q4 is next week, I'm like, what happened to summer? Can we rewind a little bit, please? Are you guys feeling that way about summer too?
Well, if I am not mistaken, Angela, it was you that dropped in a text thread that we share also. Didn't you just like drop the oh, hey, just so you know, this is how many days it is until Christmas.
I saw that on Instagram and somebody was like, it's 100 days until Christmas. And I was like, no, rewind, please. I'm not ready.
No, I'm still wearing my flip-flops and my, capris. No, I'm not ready either.
It still kind of feels like summer vibes here in southern Minnesota. The weather has been absolutely gorgeous and a lot warmer than is typical for this time of the year. Like, I feel like back even when I was in school, you would think, well, school starts and it's kind of getting cooler, kind of the fall vibes. You have all of your new school clothes that includes jeans and sweaters and boots and everything. And then maybe you get a few days of warmth, right? Where summer is like, oh, hey, I'm still kind of here, but then it turns cold. And it has not done that this year. So I feel like the warmer temperatures don't quite fit with me realizing that it's almost October. I just got my Q4 planner in the mail yesterday. And it kind of shocked me. I thought, oh, yeah, well, it is end of September. Oh, here we go.
Was that on auto? Is that why it kind of shocked you? Did it just automatically show up?
It is on
Yeah.
auto. Yes, I'm on the subscription. So, which is good because I didn't have it on my radar that it was time for another planner. And would I have survived without that specific planner? Yes, I would have. And also, it's really fun to get a new planner and
Yeah.
start fresh with a new goal, which Angela mentioned today in our Marco Polo app, talking about reflecting on quarter 3 goal and what she wanted to have for her goals for quarter 4, telling us all about that. And for the life of me, I was listening in my car to that message from you, Angela. I could not remember what was my goal this quarter. So I'm not sure what to make of that. I apparently wasn't super focused on it. So when I got home, I did look and I saw that I did actually accomplish 2 of my little goals, and the other 2 I just completely didn't even revisit. And that's okay.
You have a
I'm not
few
judging
days.
myself for that. I have a few days. I'll just cram in a 3-month goal into 7 days. That's what I'll do.
That'll be a whole podcast in and of itself, right?
Yeah.
Speed goal accomplishment or something. Yeah.
So just like Angela is saying, where did quarter 3 go? I was thinking to myself, like we were just together at the end of June, enjoying each other in person, and boom, hi, it's quarter 4. What? Yeah, so I'm with you, Angela. I'm like, okay, I'm sure a lot of our listeners out there are saying the same thing. It's not uncommon, especially when summer is involved, for people to be like, and over. I know there are a lot of people that absolutely love the fall, and since fall, the season just changed, and all you flannel loving, pumpkin spice latte drinking, I'm right there with you on that one. I know there are a lot of people that were back in August were like, I can't wait to get my flannels out and my cozy sweaters and all the fall decor. Have you guys got your fall decor out? Do you
Not
even
doing
have
it this
fall
year.
decor?
No, not doing any fall decor this year because we just moved. So I'm just trying to get the house put together in a normal way, and staring Christmas down in less than 100 days. No, there's no fall decor happening this year. No, I even passed up buying a mum. I was going to buy a mum at the farmer's market, and I'm like, I think I can live without a mum this year. It's fine.
It makes perfect sense, Angela. You have had a lot going on. I did buy a mum at Sam's Club the other day. It's this gigantic mum. And I thought if I just get this one and put it by the front step, then we'll call it good. And I do have a few fall decorations, but my seasonal decorations have become a lot more minimal over the years. So it doesn't take a whole lot of effort to just go grab a few things, maybe a throw blanket that's a different color. And I do put a tablecloth on our dining room table. I love to get out the beeswax candles. So I just have little tea lights that are beeswax candles. And that's been a great addition, especially to the morning, just having a little candle burning. And of course, the diffuser has been filled with all of the yummy cinnamon, clove, orange, thieves blend.
Yes.
My favorite.
All those warm and inviting, like cozy vibe. Yes, I
I've done
agree.
that.
Of course, I am a Young Living sells a blend called Christmas Spirit, and that is actually one I diffuse year round. I just love it
I do too.
so much. So I'm curious. So we've talked a little bit about quarter 3 kind of being a blink for most of us. I'm just curious, what has felt like already this year, even for both of you? What's something that felt like, other than the summer, that flew by, or the opposite of that, like something that has just dragged on? Emily, do you have one or the other or both?
I have both. This has been a year for us. I've talked about it before on the podcast. I guess last fall and then into the beginning of this year, especially January, February, were probably two of the hardest months for us in what we were walking through with our older daughter and just some challenges and mental health things that she's been going through. It felt like that was like, I would call it survival mode at times. So, of course, that felt like it was dragging on. The confusion of not knowing how to help her, waiting for the treatment that we were getting for her to start showing that it was working. Just the day to day walking through that with her definitely felt like longer than I would have liked it to feel. And yet now I'm so happy to report that today she has made so much progress. She is doing so well. She still has a lot of ground to cover yet as far as progress goes, but the difference from last year to this year is profound. And praise God that He brought the right people, the right remedies, the right treatments along for us to help her with that. And then my other daughter was in Colorado for the first 3 months of the year. So that felt like it flew by. And also it was very, like my heart ached for her. So that drug on a little bit too, like, oh, when's she gonna get home? And then she gets home, we spend time together, she gets engaged, she gets married 2 months later. So talking about flying by, and now she lives in another state with her sweet husband. So we've had quite the roller coaster. We've had low lows and very high highs. I just feel like the last half of this year now, like after the wedding in July, we're just learning how to live life again and just enjoy the moments together. And I'm not planning anything too big because we've kind of been there, done that this year. Yeah, it's been quite the year.
Well, and for the longest time after she came home, every other sentence for you was after the wedding. Yes, I will think about that after the wedding. I'm not doing anything until after the wedding.
Yes, and
So,
it's been after the wedding for a couple of months now, and I still feel like we are just easing into what does life look like now
mhm.
with her permanently not living here? What does it look like for us to visit them or for them to visit us? Just being open to the new season that we find ourselves in.
Yeah, much like you, I feel similar experiencing my daughter go through her first year of college and being an empty nest when she is gone versus when she does come home. And I feel like the time away at school feels like it drags. And then the time that she comes home feels like I snap my fingers and she's back at school again, which is exactly how it's supposed to be. But definitely she's in her second year now. And so it does get a little easier, but I wouldn't say I love it for sure. How about you, Angela?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we've had the extremes that Emily has had. Buying the house has been a big one. We sold our home in 2021, and so it was a long, prayerful test in patience. It was a long time coming. Living at our cottage, and my husband still working, commuting 3 hours a day for over 4 years. It was a lot. And then I always knew, like almost like a promise from God in my heart. You'll know it when you see it. You'll know it when you see it. And this condo came on the market, and we both loved it, made the offer, and closed within 2 weeks. And it was fully furnished. I mean, right down to the towels, the sheets, the, baggies in the kitchen drawer, pots and pans, dishes, furniture. I mean, every single thing you can imagine, art on the walls. So to move in there in such a short period of time after such a long, long, long prayerful wait, it felt so surreal. And it's been probably 5 weeks, I think, since we've moved, 5 or 6 weeks since we took possession, and it still feels surreal. And I think part of that is because it was furnished. It didn't feel like ours, like our stuff. Like the first week we were like, it feels like we're living in an Airbnb. This is so crazy. But we've been slowly adding some of our own things and taking some things off the walls and putting up our own art. And I have plans to kind of change a few things. And so we're making it home, but it definitely feels surreal. It doesn't feel like it's hit yet. So yeah, that's been a big transition this year for us.
I just want to point out something that I find super special with listeners. I think we've mentioned this a couple of times, but here's a little, let's pull the curtain back. There are so many times that the three of us will have some kind of ridiculous technicality when it comes to technology or something trying to, get in our way to record an episode. And then technology, I feel, has been the biggest blessing for me and for us to stay connected, especially whether it's on a Zoom call or it's in the Marcos or it's just texting each other. Because as listening to the two of you talk about your highs and your lows, and just like, I just have such gratitude because I got to ride along while you guys were doing those like major things like marriage and buying a house. Hello. Those are some pretty big deals. So anyway, I'm just taking a moment to say thank you for that, because technology is a bittersweet friend.
Yes. And we don't often take the time to be grateful for it. We spend much more time complaining about it, honestly, when it's not working right.
Yes. Well, it's because sometimes I feel like, come on, we're 2025. This should just work. I don't want to figure it out. All right. So as we think about kind of transitioning into the acceptance that the remaining 3 months, 90 days are upon us, tell me a little bit about what you both are kind of thinking, and you don't have to have it all figured out, because I for sure do not, when it comes to your last quarter. Like, have you thought about goals? Because most of us are goal oriented and usually come up with one. I know personally, I will be moving my quarter 3 goal into quarter 4, because part of my quarter 3 goal, the biggest one, was to not collapse time, but to be incredibly present for July, August, and September. And both of you kind of helped me with that, kind of coached me a little bit on that, and where my thoughts were about feeling like my life is going by too fast and I don't even know what's happening. And I did it. Yes, I feel like summer went by fast, but I can actually think back to things that happened in each month and the things that I enjoyed. So I did achieve that. But then other kind of checkbox things like website design and things like that, those might have sat on the back burner for all 3 months. And so your girl will be moving them back up. Where are the two of you at when it comes to thinking about, have you thought about it? I mean, I know you said, Emily, your planner just came in the mail, and it was a little bit of a like, oh, great, it's
like
here.
yesterday. I opened it today. So it's fresh out of the mailbox. I have not given a whole lot of thought to my quarter 4 goals until today, when I knew we were going to talk about this. The thing that keeps coming up without thinking about it too hard, because if you know me at all, you know I like to overthink it all. Try not to overthink it. The thing that keeps coming up is reading. I have a whole stack of books that I want to read, and I'm not taking the time intentionally to do that. I just started a really good fiction book, and I'm just telling myself at least just one chapter before you go to bed. Well, last night it was so good, I read 3 chapters. And I know if I get into a good book, that's what happens. If I just tell myself 1 chapter, or if I tell myself 5 minutes in the morning, if it's maybe more of a spiritual formation / self-help kind of book. I like to kind of just read those in little bite-sized pieces versus sitting down and reading them all, in one sitting. And I think the reason this came up is because I was thrifting the other day and I love to look at the books. And as I was looking at the books, I thought to myself, girl, you don't need no more books. You have so many books at home. You're already not reading. So I think reading will be on my quarter 4 goals. And along with that, more rest, more unplugged time. I'm not on technology a lot unless it's with you two, which I'm not cutting out of my life, just for the record. Like, that's a very important part of my life. But being mindful to not just consume, even if it's good information or business related or coaching related. I just want to pick up a good book, sit in a chair, and just more downtime, more rest. Does that make sense? That was kind of just me like thinking out loud. So hopefully that made sense.
No, that sounds like a perfect goal to me.
Yeah. And after listening to your year, I think it's time to exhale a little bit for sure.
Exhale. Yes, that's a perfect word for it. How can I just exhale more? And I know, we all know, even if you have very simple holiday sort of traditions and routines and plans, that time of the year just gets busier all around. It does, even if you are good at saying no and keeping things simple. So I think even more so, this quarter is the quarter to exhale. Thanks for the word, Angela. I love it.
I like that word too. Are you willing to share what book you read 3 chapters of last night?
Yes. So my friend just lent it to me. The author is Kristen Hanna. She, in this book, is called The Women. So it's about the women, especially this young girl that's a nurse that goes over to Vietnam to be a nurse. It's a fiction book, but I do think that these kinds of books help bring to life like historical fiction, like an actual experience, even though it isn't a true story. It very much could have been a true experience for someone that was in that situation. She also wrote The Nightingale. Have you guys read The Nightingale?
Yep.
She's a great author.
Oh, good.
Where are you at, Angela? Where are you at
It's
with the
copy and paste.
copy? I love that. Copy and paste. Yes.
The
Yes.
Q3 goal is just moving over because time management when you're moving turns out doesn't happen. So, time management is the goal for the next 3 months. And we've talked about this before, and I love reframing time management into time investment. Where do I want to invest my time? How do I want to invest my time? And Lisa, I love your be where your feet are goal that you have been working hard on and accomplishing. And that is something that I would love to weave into time investing. Be where your feet are, put your phone down, be present. I think that is very inspiring. So thank you. I'll add that to the list.
So here's what I'm hearing. It's probably the coach in me, right? This is what I'm hearing from listening to all of us, really. I for sure plan to carry over being present and yes, being where my feet are. But then did Angela just call it exhale? Like just allowing yourself intentional unplugging. And if, I know you admitted you tend to overthink and, people please, all those things. So Angela and I and all of the loungers are giving you full permission to unplug, and we know where to find you if we really need to get a hold of you and you happen to be unplugged with your favorite book. But I think also, Angela, the fact that you are copying and pasting your quarter 3 into quarter 4, can you think of a better time, honestly, to think about how you're investing your time than when the holidays are like staring us down? Like, I don't know. That might not have been so accidental, actually.
Very true.
Yeah, maybe we will be kind of dipping our toes into each other's goals because I'm kind of liking what I'm hearing from each of you. I might borrow a little bit of each of that.
So I'm curious, how do you girls feel about an in-person this quarter with the 3 of us?
For the 3 of us, yes,
Yeah.
I am in. Yes, when and where?
Yes.
We need to look at our calendars. I think we need to make it happen. This could maybe be a quarterly thing. The lounge ladies in person.
I love it.
Sign me up. Okay, so we talked a little bit about the holidays. Is there anything that is like your ride or die? Like, come quarter 4, this is definitely happening. Or like when it comes to like the holidays, are you okay? I'm going to have all my Christmas shopping done by October 30th. Or like, do you have any like every year I do the same thing? I really don't. I have desire to want to have all my Christmas shopping done long before Thanksgiving, but I sure don't.
We keep things really simple when it comes to gifts in our family. So the whole idea of Christmas shopping and all of the drama, I guess, that you could put around that. How much are you going to spend? How do you know what to get for the person? Who's getting what? Like, I feel like years ago we'd really pared that down. And so it's not super stressful for us, thankfully. But the thing that came to me was not so much Christmas, but more fall, an apple orchard. Like that is it's going to happen in the fall. We will go to an apple orchard. We will have the most amazing time. There might even be a pumpkin patch, who knows? But an apple orchard in the fall in Minnesota is just so magical. And now that we have a new son-in-law, we'll have to plan it for a weekend that they can join us and start making memories with him along with us as well. So the apple orchard and then all of the yummy fall desserts that you make from said apples and pumpkins. And that's what I thought of. I didn't skip all the way to Christmas.
Well,
I
thank
gotta have,
goodness. I think my
yeah.
brain is like geared to that because when you were in Sam's Club buying your mom, were there already Christmas things there? Because there sure were in my Costco when I was there last Friday.
But
There's
Christmas is
already,
already
No,
at Costco?
yes. I'm like,
What?
it's
I feel like
September.
Halloween has taken over really more than anything. So I feel like after Halloween decorations, maybe they'll
Okay,
start putting
Halloween.
out the
I'm
Christmas.
fine with Halloween. I was not fine with Christmas wrapping paper and bows and
Maybe I just didn't go down those
some
aisles. I
garland
didn't
and
pay attention.
I don't think you'd miss it. Usually it's right near the front at
yeah, I'm
Costco, at
like,
least.
no, it's September.
Yeah, it gets earlier every year.
Angela just asked us, I think it was today in the Marcos, are leaves changing color? Where you're at?
They're
Just
starting to
starting.
around here. Yeah, they're starting to, especially like deep in sort of the trees areas. You can see some of those vines that naturally grow up and down the trees, and they're like bright red deep in the grove of trees. But yeah, we've got a little bit of yellow, a little bit of orange, definitely some crunching leaves on the trail near our house, which I just love. This is my favorite time of the year.
I feel kind of dorky saying this, but I have a tree on my way into town that I just love watching change color every year. Every year, it always catches me by surprise just as it starts to change color. And I find it just both amazing and what is the word I'm looking for? Like nostalgic almost. Just like it's not even my tree. It's just a random tree
That's so nice.
on my route into town. And every year I just love it. I have so many pictures on my phone from year to year of this one tree. So I do look forward to those type of things for fall too. How about you, Anne?
Look forward to Thanksgiving every year. Love, love, love Thanksgiving. And I am looking forward to this being the final quarter of my year-long goal because this girl is ready for some new things. So you guys know I'm doing my 1 year of no spending on myself. I'm 3/4 of the way through the goal. And I think I said this before, but spring and fall are the times when I really feel the add to cart thing coming. It's like the new fall clothes, the cute booties, and maybe a new handbag. And I'm just like, okay, yeah, I'm feeling the pull, but it's okay. We're getting through it. And I mean, for Pete's sake, I'm not lacking in the clothing department. So I just had to move all my clothes. So I know how many clothes I actually own. There's a lot. So I'm looking forward to that. And yeah, I love Thanksgiving.
And I'm
If you
not,
don't know what Angela is talking about, if you go back to episode 12, I believe, is where we talked about her 1 year spending fast, and it is inspirational. So I highly recommend going back to listen to episode 12, where she tells us all about it. And it makes perfect sense that you're ready for that goal to come to an end and go on a little shopping spree. That's
yeah.
super exciting.
I'm actually feeling inspired to write a book on it.
That's amazing.
Awesome.
Go for it. Q1 goals, here we come.
It might be a Q1 goal, write a book. You guys are going to hold me to it now, aren't you?
Yes, we will. And all of our listeners will as well. They'll be waiting.
Boy.
And not to put you on the spot with one more thing, but another thing Angela has been chatting about a lot recently in our Marcos is her desire to have a
I know what you're
yeah.
going to say. The 10
Uh-huh.
item wardrobe.
Yes. So as she moves into her ability to purchase some things that she would really like to buy for herself, I have no doubt that that will just kind of naturally unfold for you because you have just moved all your clothes. So you are very familiar with what you have.
Yep.
And then you're going to be able to complete your goal for 2025. Go out and purchase some, what do they call it? Like staples, classic pieces.
It's
I
like
don't
the
even know.
core, your core pieces is the
Right.
10 items. Yeah. But you get 10 different ones per season. Did I mention that? I know.
Oh,
I'm doing all the
okay.
research.
That's more doable because I can't live. I wouldn't be able to in the place where I live where there's 4 drastic season changes. I don't know if I
Yeah.
could just do 10 items. That makes
Yeah.
way more sense.
Once I figure it all out, we'll do another podcast about it. But you can have your 10
Yeah.
items and then you also get extras. So, like, for example, if a dress is one of your core items, maybe a cardigan would be your extra item and it wouldn't count as one of your 10 core pieces. So, anyone can go to YouTube and Google or put in the search 10 item wardrobe and you'll be able to see all the videos. So, I'm inspired by that and also ready to shop.
I also see that being at least a chapter in your book. All right. So, as we get ready to wrap up this episode, ladies, do you have any, like, I'm going to do something differently or another something you're thinking about focusing on for the end of the year, or even a permission? Because sometimes I feel like, especially women, just need that permission to, like Emily, I'm going to unplug. No, really. Because we know and love Emily. That's why I'm like, we're giving you full permission, Emily. Yes, unplug. I have a sweatshirt that a friend got me that actually says unplugged on it. I'm going to have to ask her where she got that sweatshirt. I see a Christmas gift in your future. But do you have anything like that as we wrap up this episode? Any permission slips to hand out or final words of wisdom as we move into this last quarter? I would say if I was giving out permission, I have learned anything in doing planning in 90-day increments in the 12-week year, that type of concept is, and I'm not speaking to you, Emily, I'm speaking to myself, but don't overthink it. Like, I am right there with you, girl. Like, I started out so much as a, like, I gotta get it right. And so I would overthink the goal almost to default. And then, of course, if it didn't work, I was my own worst enemy. So definitely, if you want to do something between now and the end of the year, just give yourself full permission to do it your own way. Just show up for yourself and know that there is no wrong way to take the next step.
Yes. Thank you for that. I do. I feel so loved and seen right now. I do need to give myself permission also to not tag on an extra goal that feels like productive what I would consider productive. Like seeing that this taking a slower pace for the last quarter is actually productive. Exhaling is productive. Just reading fiction books and not even the what can I learn self-help sort of books is productive. So giving myself permission to not pursue the overachieving, not pursue what I've always thought of as productive, that'll be huge. So thank you for that. I also was thinking with this extra, I guess, slower pace or less pressure that I'm going to put on myself, like reflecting over everything we have been through over the last year, I have had it on my heart to record and write down some of the journey, my thoughts about it. We do have a Google Doc where we were keeping track of a lot of my daughter's symptoms and what was working and what wasn't working. So even giving myself permission to go back and read some of that, no matter what comes up, whatever emotions come up, or telling myself it's okay that I don't want to look at it. But I do want to reflect on and maybe record the journey that God has had us on, because it is profound where we were and where we are and everything that's happened in between. So I think journaling will also be in my quarter 4, but not a specific type of journaling. Just write. Just start writing. See what comes up. That feels good to say it like that.
We're going to hold you to it.
Please do. That's why I love you guys. You get me, and you also know when I need to be challenged.
Anything final from you, my friend Angela?
I think borrowing your mantra, be where your feet are, adding that to my intentional time management, time investment, and giving myself, when you say permission slip, what I think is giving myself permission to add margin into, like, my schedule doesn't have to look like someone else's. I can schedule in time for reading or for resting or for, sleeping in if I need to, giving myself permission to rest. And so, yeah, I think that the not putting pressure on myself to make my schedule look like someone else's, maybe I'll even have a 12 item wardrobe instead of 10. I mean, that's scandalous right there. Come on, you guys.
You're so rebellious, Angela. Always breaking the rules. Oh, that's so
I
funny.
think it's important for all of us here in the lounge to just remind ourselves we have made it this far.
2025. I mean,
Yeah.
seriously, was it 1985 like yesterday? Those memes where they're like, you know
Yeah.
what memes I'm talking about, when they're like, back in the 80s, and then they're like,
Yeah, it was
40 years ago. And you're like, wait, what? 40 years ago?
Yeah, that's not true. Oh, okay, friends. I would say that is a wrap for another episode in the lounge. So I thank you both, and I thank all of our loungers, as we're calling you, for hanging out with us today. But on a serious note, you all make this whole thing so much fun, and we absolutely love hearing from you. So please keep those private messages coming in to us, whether it is on a social media platform, or some of you might know us personally and you're sending us little text messages or emails. We absolutely love those. Come find us on Instagram at the Life Coach Lounge. And like I said, go ahead and, as they say, maybe they don't even say anymore. I don't know. I like to think I'm one of the cool kids, but I don't know. Do they still say slide into the DMs? I don't think so. That sounds awful.
We think you're a cool kid too, Lisa.
You are.
Yeah.
The bottom line is we are curious about what our listeners are up to, and we would love to hear from you. So let us know how your quarter 4 is planned out, or if you have any challenges that you are interested in addressing. All 3 of us have opening this quarter for coaching, and we would love to have a conversation with you. So just a reminder, we drop a new episode every Tuesday, because apparently we have a lot to say. So you can find us literally everywhere your ears take you, on Apple, Spotify, you name it, or even on Spotify video. If you want to be like, whose voice goes with which person. You can find us there or on YouTube. And we would just love for you to leave us a review and give us some thumbs up and share with your friends. So until next Tuesday, we're so grateful to be stumbling through this adventure of Q4 alongside all of you. I'll have a coffee-fueled conversation ready for next Tuesday, and I can't wait to hang out with you again right here in the lounge. So Emily and Angela, I will see you ladies later in the Marcos.